away.
Hi guys. Well, I'll start with a little bit, and then you guys can just it could be more of a conversation thing. You guys can just kind of interrupt me or whatever if you have thoughts that come to mind. But so yeah, well, first of all, thank you, Whitney, for asking me to do this, and for all your kind words. I'm so glad we met at a random event that I just decided to go to one day. But yeah, I love this business. I'm sure you guys all do too. That's why you're here. And social media has definitely been an awesome part in it, and really just seeing success and being able to reach people that we wouldn't have gotten to otherwise. So I'm super thankful for it, but I do like to always start out with just saying, ask yourself first, if you had no social media, if your Instagram and Facebook and everything, if that all crashed, would you still be in business? And if the answer is yes, that's a good sign, because I think a lot of the time people have a misconception of a business like this being solely on social media. It's an awesome tool. It's another avenue and way to reach people, but it's so important to still stay and, in what our roots. We want to always stick with the business model. And I just honestly think of social media as another way to reach people. So staying in activity is huge. It's so important, honestly, no matter what you're using, whether it's one-on-ones, phone calls, social media, or whatever, activity equals results. And so honestly, nothing can happen that activity can't help. So as long as you're in activity, honestly, you're moving forward. But I want to go ahead and open the floor up for you guys if you guys have specific questions about social media or just business in general. I feel totally unqualified, but I'm excited to help where I can. So if anyone has questions.
Hey, Arika, this is Kelly Jenkins.
Hey.
Hey, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I just wanted to, when I was talking with Whitney about possibly getting this set up to do with you, I was very interested in how you approach people, whether it is, do you make your initial connections through social media? I see you all the time on social media and in your story and in your posts and things, and you do an awesome job at those. And it's funny because I was just telling my husband, who was home for lunch just a little while ago, about that we were going to be doing this Zoom. And I said, well, she's beautiful, she's young, she's has all these great posts and everything. And he says, well, you have those things too. I said, well, I'm not young, and I don't know about the beautiful part, but we do all have the same passion for this business. And you're right, activity does cure everything. When you can get in activity and see those results, then obviously you're fired up, you're ready to go. But in the lulls, in the downtimes of that, when you aren't getting the activity that you're wanting to see, what do you do, and how do you utilize social media to jumpstart that or propel your business forward?
Yeah, so I like that you said downtime, because it really is what I do anytime I don't have something to do. So if I don't have a one-on-one or a call or people to follow up with, which honestly, we could always follow up with people, we could always do more. But in those times where I feel that I have nothing to do, that's when I'll hop on social media, and that's when I'll make a post. So a couple things I keep in mind. So first and foremost, I try and make my social media as much like me in real life as possible. I don't want it to of course, we value authenticity with Arbonne always. So I try and keep up the exact same thing with the things that I'm posting and how I'm sharing. But I'm really just organically fitting into my life the way that I would out and about as well. If I was in line at Starbucks with a fizz stick, just how I would authentically bring it up to the person next to me in line. Same thing with social media, just bringing it into my day and kind of showcasing that. Really just how Arbonne fits into my life. And so I don't put a ton of can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah. Yes.
It's super shaky for me. But I don't put a ton of pressure on it. I think it's really easy to be scared of social media because we don't want to be like that girl, and we don't want to be like that crazy Arbonne lady that everyone's block. But and that's completely in your delivery and how you're showing it. So it's it's one thing to post like 50% off detox today only, like all the time, those kinds of posts. But it's another thing to post about like I'm feeling so good, like on like if I posted a picture of me with this right now, like last day of my cleanse, you know, um, really just showing how it fits into your world, not showing that it's your job, you know, because people will pick up on that regardless. But when I do post, so you want to be really clear on like who your ideal client is, um, and kind of post to connect with that person that you might not have even met yet, or who your ideal business partner is. And so you want to connect, of course, beyond what you do. So it's very rare that I'll even reach out to someone and be like, hi, I think you'd be great at this business that I haven't talked to before. So same way we create relationships in real life, I create relationships with people on social media. And I know that might kind of feel weird at first, but it's just showing up on their page, like liking their stuff, commenting on their stuff, showing up on their live videos, showing up on their stories, like replying, just making a presence known to them that you exist really. And that brings traction to your page and they see it. And then eventually the more authentically we're sharing and the more excited we are about what we're doing, they're eventually going to be like, what do you do? Like, why are you so happy? Or, you know, what's this program you're doing? But it's important too to just not hide behind your work. Like it's really easy for us because we love this. Like it's easy to get super passionate about what we're doing. But it's important to not hide behind Arbonne. We still want to be us, and we, you know, we're in the relationship business. Yes, we have like awesome products and it's a great business, but at the end of the day, we're here to connect with people and serve people to their core. So we want to still connect beyond what we do and not hide behind just Arbonne, Arbonne, Arbonne. My biggest thing, my like staple rule is we want to show that we love what we do, but more so that we love our life. And people gravitate towards that. People want to know like what we're doing because, you know, and then other rule of thumbs that I use when posting, I always ask myself these things. I ask, who is it serving? Am I doing it justice? So like say I'm posting about a product, am I giving all of this information? You know, am I promoting this product well? And then I always have intentions with my post. Like what's my intention with posting this? And so if all of those things have value, in my opinion, I think it's worth posting. And then as far as stories go, which Whitney is great at this too, but I always try and like literally tell a story through my stories, and make people want to continue clicking next, you know. I want to relate to people, but again, like it's always just showing how Arbonne fits in. So like I'm about to go into Starbucks and like order a fizz, and I'll just post like today in the office, or love my fizz with my tea, or whatever, you know. But just showing like little touches of how Arbonne fits in, you know. I know that was like the longest answer ever, Kelly. I'm sorry. Hopefully I answered it, but
Yeah, that's great. Would you say that you had a large social media following prior to Arbonne, or did you think that it picked up much more after Arbonne? I know there was a traumatic event in your life, and there was a lot of people that plugged into that to follow your story, to follow your recovery, and all of that. So, do you feel like that? I mean, obviously, you would never want that kind of thing to happen to anyone, but do you feel like that you had a large group because of that, and so those people have kind of plugged into watching you grow, watching you continue on with life, watching you just like you said, live your life day to day. So, or do you feel like that it's just really people at random?
I think it's a mixture of both. I did have a following before because of the accident that I was in. And so those, like, sometimes I'll have people reach out like, hey, I've followed you since the accident, and like I've been watching from the sidelines, you do what you do, and now I'd love information, you know. So sometimes I get messages like that. Other times I get messages like, hi, just stumbled upon your page, or whatever, you know. So I think it's a mix for sure.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the stories and things that you post, I agree that they need to tell a story. They do need to actually tell a story and fit into your life. So like now when you're going into Starbucks and you'll maybe post something about that in a little bit. Are you going there strictly just to hang out and work there in Starbucks so that you can potentially meet other people and you can see that you're out and about doing the things that you like, as opposed to going and sitting in an office somewhere, doing someone else's 9 to 5.
Yeah. Anytime I don't have a place to be, I'll go somewhere and like find someone to meet. And so it took me a while to like do that, because I was like just scared to step outside of my comfort zone. It's like kind of intimidating to just go out and like meet people. But I found that that's honestly the coolest way to meet people, because, say I'm at the gym at like 1:30 in the afternoon, people like, it's such a great conversation to be like, what are you doing here? Like middle of the day, and then that brings up conversation of what I do, what they do. Before I even mention Arbonne, I know how it can fit into their life, and same thing with going out and about, just having conversation. Like, how's your day going? Because at Starbucks, it's a lot of community tables. So I always try and choose like places with that, where it's not like everyone's in their own little section. But yeah, I'll just be like, how are you doing today? What are you working on? Like, you seem busy. What's up? And just talk. And then eventually, like, for the most part, if you're talking to someone, asking them questions, they'll do the exact same thing. If not, you probably don't even want to do business with them if they're not interested in you, because that means they're not going to be interested in others. But yeah, so it's a great way to just have it organically come up in conversation, not like that headhunter feeling of like, hey, I'm looking for business partners and I see you're here,
Right. I think
So,
that's really difficult. It's a hard thing for people to do if they're not that we aren't socially inept in any way, but it's hard for most people to go up and just randomly talk to people,
Mm-hmm.
And I grew up in a political family, and so I've been doing a lot from the time I was 11 years old, and I'm 55 now. Have been able to go out on the campaign trail, shake people's hands, walk up to people. I learned how to do that at a very young age, but it still seems really awkward at times when I am out and about. I mean, I've tried that. I've tried going into Starbucks and just, hanging out, grabbing a cup of coffee, sitting there, maybe working on my list or whatever, and contacting people through text, but actually engaging with them. I am one of those people that sits over in the little comfy chairs off to the side, and they do have the long tables there where you can actually sit down and talk to people. But I think that's hard. That's just really have to come out of your comfort zone and do. And for me, speaking only for me, that's really a difficult thing to do. But
yeah, it is. But like, just think of anything hard as like, nothing good comes from comfort zones. Like, if you're doing something hard, you're most likely in some way going to grow. And if you're doing something like that, it's going to be like hard for a good reason, Because
right.
worst case scenario, you at least make a present and then they notice you next time and then they're watching. So it doesn't always have to end in a sale or a business partner. Sometimes it's just planting seeds, And
Would you say that a lot of times the people that you're meeting at places that you're out and about at, not necessarily just Starbucks, but other places, that these are people that are more of your age group? Or are you reason I ask is because the Starbucks that I go to, it's near the university, and because it's one of the more closer ones for me. And when I'm in there at certain times, there's mostly business professionals in there. And then at other times, I found out that the university shuttle goes right by there. And so it was filled the other day with young people, college age people, both men and women. And I don't know, I felt like that it was, thought, well, gosh, there's a lot of people in here that, that need Arbonne, but didn't really know how to connect to them, is what I'm trying to say.
And you're going to hit that struggle anywhere you go, whether it's like cold prospecting or people that you know in your life. Like, you're going to hit people where you just don't know how to approach them. But one, that's what our uplines are for. Yay. And also, it's just about like, sometimes it doesn't have to be straight up Arbonne conversation. A lot of the time it could just be like a little conversation here and there. And then, you know, conversations can evolve. It doesn't always have to be like, hey, you're in school, are you struggling with money, do you need an extra like income? You know, it doesn't always have to be like straight to the point. Sometimes it, you know, it could be something like, oh my gosh, you're so cute, like I love your cute little jacket or whatever. And then, you know, just let the conversation go from there, and then say like, hope you're having a good day, like are you in class? Or, you know, I don't know exactly how, or if you're looking for like specific people from the university that you're wanting to connect to. But yeah, it's hard, like regardless of the age. I think it's always like, keep it simple, keep it like, how can I connect with them, finding a need and filling it with Arbonne,
Hey,
regardless
Erica.
of the age. Yeah.
So one of the things that I was just going to kind of plug there, I do this. I was going to ask if this is maybe the way that you do that as well. So like for me, it's a lot of times in a mommy group or whatever. So if I'm out and about and I meet someone and I meet them, you know, obviously organically, where, you know, your jacket's cute, whatever. So before I leave a place, I always make sure, maybe it's just my age, I don't know, but I always make sure I'm like, hey, are you on Facebook? Are you on Instagram? And a lot of times they organically hear about what I do because now we're friends on social media, and now they're hearing about Arbonne that way. Like, do you feel like, is that maybe kind of the way that sometimes people get introduced to Arbonne through your life?
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of the time if I'm talking to somebody and I don't find that point of like, how can I turn this into like sharing Arbonne with them, that's
Right.
exactly what I'll do. Like, I'll just be like, okay, well, you're super cute, are you on Instagram? And then I'll add them on Instagram. Like send them a cute message or something like, you were so cute, loved meeting you. Of course they're gonna like go to my page, and then they'll see it. Half the time people will be like, oh my gosh, I didn't know you did Arbonne, you know, like I love this stuff. And then right off the bat, that's a way to share it. But otherwise, yeah, it's just seed planting. And like, it's the same way we do follow-ups in real life, like calling our friend or texting our friend about joining the next program or something. Same thing, I'll write in my planner, like follow up with at, and then their Instagram name. And then I'll just send them a message like, girl, you're so cute, hope you're doing well. And then just kind of taking it from there. And so a lot of the time I won't even mention Arbonne until I have a reason to, if that makes sense. But a lot of it's, I just try and keep it super simple and keep it all about relationships. And then having that organically come like to bloom into sharing Arbonne. Because of course I don't want people to feel like I'm just reaching out because of Arbonne. I want people to feel cared for and loved. And so I'm doing that through what we do, if that makes sense.
Okay, I have two questions. My first one is, when you tell people that they're so cute, do they look at you weird? Or are they like, oh my gosh, thank you so much?
No,
I
because
feel like sometimes people like, oh my gosh, you're so cute. And they're like, or my husband will look at me and be like, that was really weird. I'm like, no, like that
it's
was
all that's funny. No, it's all honestly like, there's times I'm uncomfortable, but like it's all just in how we deliver it. Like if we're confident, you know, people like, the saying your vibe attracts your tribe is so true. Like just be as like excited about life. Like people literally sometimes come up to me and they're like, why are you so happy? And I'm like, I don't know, like I'm just happy. And then they'll just, I don't know, but like it's all just in how you deliver, the posture that you carry yourself in. And then like people are attracted to that regardless of if it's like weird or not. Like people like to be around happy, positive people. And so just try and carry yourself that way regardless of what you're doing, you know.
My other question is making your presence known on Instagram. What are some other ways, like you said, watch the live videos, what are some other ways that you do that?
So there's like crazy algorithms and all this stuff that's like so hard to keep up with these days. But it's really about like, yes, showing up on their page, like staying active and like commenting, liking, things like that. Whatever it is to like bring traction to your page. Because one, that means you'll show up on their timeline, because now Instagram is like, it's horrible, but Instagram is basically like the only people showing up on your timeline is the like people that you're liking. So same with them. If they're not liking your stuff, they're probably not going to see your posts. And so the best way to fix that is to make a present known on theirs, and that'll bring traffic to yours, and just staying consistent with that. And the more people who are like looking at your page and liking your stuff, then you have a better chance of showing up on the explore page. And then also I use hashtags. So like, and I don't use hashtags like, I mean, I sometimes use like Arbonne or Arbonne 30 Days to Healthy Living. But I'll use hashtags that I like my ideal client would be looking for. So like vegan protein, fitness or motivation, girl boss, you know, things like that, that people who are interested in what we have to offer would be searching. So yeah, hopefully that was helpful.
Yeah, I have another question, unless someone else wants
Okay.
to go. I noticed that in your story just last week, you had one of the little slides through there said like 17 new people getting healthy with Arbonne. Are those 17 new business builders for you? Or are they 17 clients or a mixture of both? I think that's awesome, because I think we would all love to have had it added 17 new sales and new business builders or whatever, a combination thereof, to our own businesses. And I guess that I'm really intrigued by the momentum that you've created, because when we met, months and months ago, we were basically kind of in the same position and both area managers, and I think it was maybe like right after GTC or something when we met. It was quite a while ago. But I wish you the best of success with it, because you're burning it up. You're doing a great job. I'm just kind of intrigued about how did this girl get 17 new sales and new thing, the follow-up is key. I get that. But just, I guess, more nuts and bolts about how you do that.
Yeah. Every month I set goals that scare the crap out of me. And like, I'll set goals that are absolutely unattainable. Like my goal this month was 20,000 personal, 100,000 on my team, and I'm not a region. Like I have to set big goals that scare me, because then I'll work that much harder. It's just like, that's my mindset. And I know not everybody's like that, but I set huge goals. And so my results are better the more I do that. But yeah, when I posted the 17 boot campers, so that's people doing the March 5th clean eating program. And so I like to highlight that a lot, because I reach out for everything. Of course we have so many things to offer people, but my big thing is the healthy living program. That's just what I love to share. It's like my baby. I love it. And so I'm always pushing to help people get healthy through that program. And so if I have someone else jumping in, I'll be like, yay, okay. And then I'll post like another girl joining us, and it just, because a lot of people are watching what we do and they're not reaching out because they're scared, or they don't think it'll work, or they don't want to be the only one, or whatever. So the more I'm showing that it's like a community of people, I feel that people are more intrigued and I guess inclined to jump in, because they'll feel like they're joining like a group.
I like that. I mean, you don't have to lie or anything, but when you have someone join in your team, or whether they're joining in just to purchase products or however, it kind of builds faith in the person that's looking at it. Oh, well, so-and-so's doing this, or, oh, she's really got a lot of people doing that now. But I like that you use that as a way to build enthusiasm in other people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And just, it's encouragement too, because a lot of people don't, they're honestly terrified of a program like this. I didn't even know what it was. Like I just did it. But a lot of people and also sometimes people don't feel like they are able to. Even if I post about it, they'll be like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize you had groups. Like, can I do this? And so stories are also a great way to just like kind of let people know, like, you're all welcome, you're all in, and just give them that extra information. Because a lot of the time people don't even read captions, but people look at stories all the time. So it's just a great way to like deliver that information in an easier way.
Hey, Arika.
Yeah.
So my other question is, I feel like in, teaching and training a team and new people, I get asked a lot, how often should I post on social media? And I know for me, it's like when I feel like it, when I want to, like depending on what's going on in my life. I don't have set rules, but I know, and I've heard other people try and like inorganically teach on social media and teach on, you know, a Facebook business page and this, that, and the other. And you should post this ratio, like 3 lifestyle posts to 1 business post and all of this stuff. But I don't always find myself falling into those rules. And so therefore I don't teach those rules. But if you are starting someone new in the business, you know, do you teach like a certain rule like that? Or do you just kind of stick with incorporate it into your life and go with the flow?
Yeah, I definitely, because I don't want people to feel this crazy pressure of like, you have to post this and this and this.
Right.
But I do just kind of teach my new consultants, like, this is a big move in your life, right? They'll be like, yeah. And I'll be like, okay, so like, if you have big, exciting things happening, you want to share them, right? Like that's what we do. If you got a new car, you'd post a picture of you in your new car. If you are getting married, you're posting a picture of your ring. It's just the exact same thing. So I just tell people to like take all the pressure off. Like, yes, this is a business and it's important to like treat it like one and stuff, but take the pressure off and like just treat this as something like another thing in your life that like you're excited about, and keep it authentic, because I think that like it's important that people know that it's like that it's a business, because if you treat it like a business, you'll get paid like a business. If you treat it like a hobby, you'll get paid like a hobby. They always say that. But it's also important to like to know that this is just an authentic way to reach out to people and share. And so like my rule of thumb is like, of course you don't want to be like Arbonne, because people will be like, whoa, no, like crazy Arbonne lady. But just again, showing how it fits in. So like one day I'll just do like a post of me in my fizz, or like a post of me at the gym with my pre-workout. And then I'll do a picture of my dog, or like picture me and my boyfriend, or picture me and my friends, a quote, you know, and just kind of weaving in Arbonne into that. So I'll do like every 3 posts can be Arbonne kind of thing. And that's kind of like, that's not like the rule, but that's kind of what I try and follow, just to keep a balance, because again, you want to show people that you love what you do, but more so that you love your life. And so if you just make every post Arbonne, they'll be like, okay, this girl works all the time. And we're obviously, that's not what we do. But that's how a lot of people see our life. The only way they can see our life. So
Do you share what you do, what you post in your story? Do you share it down in your timeline as well, like on your Instagram wall? Or you choose things that are going to go only on your story and things that go down on the wall? Or you even, I know you post things on your wall, but
yeah, it just kind of depends. Like sometimes I'll post a lot more on my story than like a post on Instagram or on Facebook. But if I post a story and I want to make sure people see it, I'll make a post about it too. Like, hey guys, if you didn't see my story, da 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 da, you know.
yeah, I just noticed that sometimes when someone likes something that I've posted and I go and they maybe have followed me, I'll go to their page or to their wall just to see who they are, what they're doing, you know, what their life is like. And I'll notice they have 15,000 followers and they've maybe posted 12 times.
Yeah.
And so that tells me that they have found followers somewhere other than just in those 12 different stories, those 12 different posts that they've made. So that's a tidbit for you all.
Yeah, I'll post a story when I want to post a story, post a regular post when I want to do that. And then if I feel the need to do both in the same way, then I'll do that. Like if I'm really pushing for a goal or something, I'll, of course, like if you want to have more than where you're at, just do more than what you're doing. So I'll just kind of follow that and keep that. I really honestly try and follow all of the like business, like the business model that we have, and just honestly just like add social media to it, if that makes sense. Like I'll just social media like put a little social media twist on what we're already doing. So keep it the same. Like I'll still do, honestly, I don't know if, do you guys follow like the 40 Faces document?
Yes.
So I'll make an extra 40 Faces document just for Instagram.
Okay.
And I know that seems like a lot, but I I really just try and keep the business model the same on there too. But social media is like huge. Like there's just so many ways to reach out to people. And so I just treat it as a whole nother world, honestly. And yeah, so it's just utilizing it and stepping outside of your comfort zone. And yes, always make those connections. Like if you meet people out and about, bring traction there, because even if you couldn't bring up Arbonne in the moment, they'll see it. And then that could be like your next ace, you know?
Mm-hmm. What was your background prior to Arbonne?
I was a graphic designer. So totally nothing like this, but I worked for a church down in Florida.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Does anybody else have any questions or anything? Hopefully it was helpful.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much, Arika, just for chatting with us and answering some questions. I know it's middle of the day and we've got a couple people that weren't able to hop on with school and things like that, but I really appreciate it. This was really helpful. And yeah, I don't think I have any other questions, but if somebody thinks of something that maybe they wanted to ask or didn't get asked, I'll just shoot you a text and
okay.
We'll kind of go from there. But thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule to talk to us.
Of course. I hope that it was helpful. You guys rock. I hope you have a good rest of your month. It's crazy. It's like almost over.
I know. Thank you.
No problem. Bye, guys.
Thank you, Arika.